Welcome to Connecticut Chestnuts, Your Orchard Series, Part 2. In this video we're going to talk about field prep, getting your field ready to plant. Whatever ground you're planting on, you want to know how compacted the soil is. Young trees especially have a hard time pushing roots through heavily compacted soil. Here in the Northeast, our soil does not compact nearly as easily as it does in many other parts of the country, especially the South. Soil can be loosened up with a middle buster behind a tractor or by hiring a local farmer to plow the field up, but if you have a lot of rock, that may not be a good idea. If you're planting a hayfield or an old pasture, you have a few options on how to proceed. One option is to mow the field short in August, the year before you plant the trees, and hit the whole field with Roundup and kill off all the vegetation. Then you can drill in a grass seed clover combination mix that should be able to get established by winter. If you're happy with the grass seed your field has now, you can just plant your trees in it in the spring and round up a 4x4 area where the trees are going to be. Keeping the grass short the year before you're planting will help keep the weed seed load down for in the future. We tilled our entire field, and that is a nice way to go, but it's a lot of expense if you don't have the equipment already. Existing hayfield or pasture can be hard to till if it has not been sprayed beforehand. It is best to prepare your ground properly the fall before planting. If your trees arrive in April for planting, you may not be able to work the ground in March due to frozen ground or heavy rains. If you're planning on adding irrigation, you can plant your cover crop and skip your rows. Half-inch irrigation tube cannot go underground, and you cannot mow over it, so you will have to spray the weeds out of the rows twice a year. If you are planting tilled ground for your cover crop, I like to plant 100 pounds of perennial ryegrass seed mixed with 1 pound of clover per acre. The white clover I like to use in the orchard is a variety called Ladino clover. Ladino clover is low growing and is very drought tolerant. Even if you're irrigating your orchard, you're not irrigating the rows, you're only drip irrigating the trees most of the time. So if you get a very hot, dry year, some clovers will not come back, but Ladino clover was bred to always come back. You can spread your seed out with just about any kind of grass seeder. I like to use a broadcast grass seeder and then hit it with a cultipacker. Any kind of roller though will help. At this point you might want to look back at your soil samples and make sure your NPK levels are high enough so that your seeds can get a good start. Both perennial ryegrass and clover do very well with low levels of nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and pH, and there's a good chance you won't really need to add anything.